Hey, this is Brian, and I am here today to show you how to nail a hammer-on. So the hammer-on, as you probably know, is one of the most essential techniques for the guitar. Its sound is iconic, you hear it all the time, and it gives a real fluid quality. Now a hammer-on, of course, is when you use a finger on your left hand to hit the string right against the fret without using your right hand. So it's pretty efficient in that way. But it also has a different sound. It has an attack on it, but it's a lighter sound. So it gives you, that's part of the sound of it that is so guitar, is that it's a way of sounding a note that's not so hard. There's not all hard consonants in our language. There are soft consonants too. So you can think of a hammer-on, the sound of it, as being like a soft consonant. So it gives you a sense of language. It gives you, you start to sound like we do when we speak a little more than if you're just picking absolutely everything. Another thing that it does for you is, since it's simpler, you can play lightning fast and keep that smooth sound going through the whole time. So there's a lot of reasons to use hammer-ons. So now let's just, look at the hammer-on itself, the technique. It's called a hammer-on. Well, why? Well, here's a hammer. Let's look at what a hammer's like. Hammers are hard. They're rigid. And they don't change shape when you use them. The other thing, they're designed with this particular shape so that all the force ends up right here. Not back here, not here, but right there. So whenever you go to use it, use a hammer, you go straight down, as you know, to drive the nail right in. The other thing, though, is if you've used a hammer, if you come at it at the wrong angle, it's going to bend the nail. It's not going to do the job that you want. You're going to spend hours straightening this back and going back and, messing it all up. So you have to have just the right angle coming down. So how does this apply to the finger? Well, let's take a look. So in order for our finger to act like the hammer, it needs to do three things that hammers do. So one of them is to have the shape of the hammer. And one of those things is very simple. You just bend at this middle knuckle. Then you have the handle of the hammer and the head of the hammer. There you go. Very easy to do. Second thing to do, not quite as easy, but not terrible, is to keep that shape and not change it. A lot of times I see when my students come in, if they're having trouble with hammer-ons, at some point they're straightening their finger out and curving it as they go to the guitar. That means you're going to miss the string. They're going to go above it and hit the wood first. They're going to go under it. They're going to go on top of the fret. So you want to keep it in that shape. That way it acts just like a hammer. Third thing it needs to do is to be at the correct angle. Just like the hammer, when the hammer goes down, we don't want to be at the wrong angle when we hit the nail, or we'll bend it. Here, we don't want to be at the wrong angle, or it won't ring well, or a thud. We'll get one of those buzzes or something. Or it'll be so difficult we can't really lift it back up and get ready for the next thing we have to do. When those three things are operating, then the finger is really just like a hammer. It has the shape, but it also has the rigidity of the hammer, because it has these bones in there that actually do most of the work when you hit your finger against the string. You actually don't have to haul off and sling your finger at the string, just like you don't really need to rear back with your whole body and slam the hammer down. You only need to use your forearm. So the same is the case here, because the bones do the work. Now this hammer shape is, of course, crucial for this technique, but it's actually used a lot in guitar for many other types of techniques. It's even used for your basic fingering technique, honestly. So if you're having any trouble finding your fingertip, finding the angle, it's not a problem. I can help you out. Just look in the description below the video. There's a link there. It'll take you right to a free PDF that helps you find your fingertips and helps you find this angle for your hands that you need for the hammer-on. So thanks for watching, and see you later.